Hello, my name is Arthur Vong. I'm a senior majoring in psychology at the University of South Alabama. So our topic today is meditation, and we have a very special, knowledgeable guest with us on this subject tonight, Miss Nena Nimit. So I've known her since her days as a medical student at South Alabama. She was actually a co-founder of the Meditation and Mindfulness Club, which I have been a club officer for a few years now. So I'll let Nena Nimit introduce herself some more. So,
hey Jay, how are you?
good, how you doing?
It's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me to talk about mindfulness. It's a subject that's really dear to my heart because it really saved my life in many ways. There was a period of time in my life where I was very confused and lost about what I wanted to do when I first got to college. But through a 2-week meditation retreat, I really developed clarity. And at that moment, I decided, like, you know what? I want to do something beneficial for the world, and I want to do something good for people. And the best way I can do that is to be a doctor. So I kind of went along that path and was really interested in psychiatry because I felt that, I met people who had everything you can imagine to be happy in this world. They had, wealth, they had success, they had a beautiful family, they had good health, but somehow they still weren't happy. And there was a part of them that was unhappy with themselves. And so it was like an inner state that I found that could overshadow everything in your life. So I began meditating more and started the club to kind of share this knowledge with everybody. And now I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist and just love to help people improve their sense of well-being. And mindfulness is a really big part of that.
Right. I I was looking around, and I seen that meditation was the biggest growing health trend going right now. Like meditation has from 2012 to 2017 triple in the people who have tried meditations, and it has many benefits like helping with stress. And it's found that meditation may quiet the amygdala, the area of the brain that responds to stress. And then it also can boost compassion toward yourself and toward others. So, but there's also, if you're not meditating, or there's also another aspect which is called mindfulness, which is sort of like being in a conscious state of mind where you're not judging yourself in the current moment. And it's found that mindfulness can improve mental focus. There was like a small study that suggested just doing that for 10 minutes can contribute to better focus. And then it also can help reduce bias toward the negative and toward others. So in your psychology practice, do you recommend doing meditation or mindfulness practices?
Absolutely. Because like in our life, we have certain habit patterns, like, the way we brush our teeth, the way we talk to people, and it becomes like automatic. Someone honks a horn at you or cuts in front of you, and you just automatically feel that irritation rise up right away. So these are like automatic habit patterns that are in our mind. And so some of them are beneficial, right? If you have a habit of gratitude and being kind to yourself, but we all have negative habit patterns in our mind. And these can cause us to be unhappy when they are unhealthy or they're negative. And just kind of like you mentioned, being mindful is that conscious state of mind. So we have another part of our mind that's like the doing brain. So you're always thinking, you're like the hamster on the wheel, just going, 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 and don't really realize that you're thinking and ruminating on things all the time until they're really negative. And then they can kind of spiral from like a negative thought to like depression, and it can even be life threatening. So in my practice, it's very important for my patients to practice getting to know themselves and developing a better relationship, healthy relationship with themselves first, and then with the people around them. So I'll just briefly tell you, I basically introduced mindfulness to most of the teenagers and the kids that I work with. So it really is very fast. Like, I'll just do like a very, very quick breathing exercise with you right now, just to kind of get a flavor for it. So, I just invite them to kind of just get comfortable and feel relaxed. Maybe they stretch their head or neck or whatever they want to do. Just, not like focusing on me or anything, but just kind of getting comfortable in their environment. So I invite them to just take a few deep breaths, like breathing in deeply and exhaling, just kind of feeling the rise and fall of their chest. So we are breathing all the time actually, but we are not aware of it. But our breath, it's always there for us, and it's something that keeps us alive. So when we come to be mindful of the breath, we just take a moment to be grateful to be alive. Because if you take a moment to think like, so many people didn't wake up today, but we're so lucky just to be alive. So just taking a moment to appreciate your breath, breathing and feeling that rise and fall of your chest, just noticing your breath, just being aware. You might feel the cushion beneath you. Maybe it's soft. Maybe you hear some noises in your environment. Just noticing and being curious. Maybe you feel the atmosphere around you, like spacious skies. Maybe you open your eyes and look around, noticing a few of the black objects in your environment. And then just coming back to your breath. And each time your mind wanders, you gently bring it back to your breath. And you take a few more deep breaths and gently come back to the surface. So in this way, you are developing a new habit pattern, like you're strengthening your muscle of being conscious. So you're like noticing whatever's in your environment or whatever's going on in the internal world, like clouds, and you just gently come back to your breath. It's so easy. It's just like 1 minute a day. So that's 30-second refresher.
So there's have like beginner meditators, and also there's been studies where they have taken the meditation practice a little bit longer, see if it can like incorporate it into your lives, maybe daily. Do you can you elaborate on your timetable, like with your patients? Is it more of a something, a tool which they can do in their daily life, or do you suggest either even longer timetables, I guess?
Right. So everything starts small, right? So if they're just beginning to practice, literally just like one act a day, like just walking to your car. Like next time when you walk to your car, just be mindful. Just notice your breath. Just feel the sky around you. Noticing whatever is going on. And if your mind wanders to a thought, you just gently bring it back. That can just be like one activity of your day. Or, one before you start your homework or before you take a test, just take a minute to just breathe and notice. And of course, ideally, you said it yourself, the longer you let go and relax, the more, it's like the cup of water is filled with mud and you're stirring it around all the time. If you imagine this is filled with water. So if you're just letting it be for a minute, it's going to some of the mud is going to sink, right? But not completely yet. So the longer I allow this glass to settle, the more peacefulness, the more calm, the more clarity will arise in your mind. So ultimately, the goal is to start small, but incrementally at a pace that feels, comfortable for you. Maybe every few weeks you add 5 minutes or something like that, kind of going for a little bit longer increments, but you really work with the patient. So some people, they can't just sit down for a long period of time. So I kind of have to work with them, and I'm like, okay, now we're going to take 2 activities to be mindful. When you brush your teeth, you're going to feel the bristles against your teeth, and you're just going to notice. And then you might notice that your mind is like a monkey and it goes all around to everything you did in the day. So you just notice. That's okay. We love our monkey, and we just gently bring it back to the present moment with what we're doing. So you gently increase the time or the number of activities that you're mindful of, if that helps.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. So there's in psychotherapy, this mindfulness-based stress reduction or mindfulness-based cognitive therapy that supplement psychotherapy, like stress reduction. It helps target the management of stressful situations. Do you what kind of sort of things, which of these do you do? MBRS, MBSR or MBCT?
Okay.
Or...
This is a very good question. It's kind of a technical question about how mindfulness is used in psychotherapy. So Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn, the grandfather of mindfulness, he pretty much learned it from like the Eastern wisdom traditions, and he kind of stripped it of all of anything that looked religious or spiritual, and he just stripped it down to the core practice of being in the present moment and being mindful of your body sensations and awareness and things like that. So he made an 8-week course called Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, MBSR, to help people at the University of Massachusetts hospital deal with chronic pain. Because when you are in pain, you are not only do you have the pain, you have a reaction to the pain, and you don't want the pain. So mindfulness helps you to be aware. To use another analogy, it's kind of, and I know I'm going off a little bit on a tangent, but it's going to come back around. Okay. So it's like an arrow that you're shooting at yourself. You know, there's a lot of, being a human being is not easy. It's very challenging at times, right? So there's a lot of situations that happen to us, like an arrow that hits us in the chest and it goes. But what happens is that the situation has come and gone. And I'm taking the arrow and I'm continuing to throw it at myself, beating up myself for why I couldn't do a better job, or why it didn't turn out like this, or why this person didn't do this. So I'm continuously beating myself up and ruminating on this. So the phrase is that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So mindfulness helps us to not throw that second arrow at us. So yes, there's a lot of challenging situations in this world, but we don't have to beat ourselves up over every little small thing. We don't have to be so hard on ourselves or so hard on the people around us. Suffering is optional. So through this 8-week program, you learn to be mindful of you do the body scan, just kind of relaxing part of your body. You learn how to relax. You learn how to eat mindfully. You learn how to develop compassion and gratitude. And these are all skills, because being in the present moment, again, is sometimes difficult because it's a challenging situation. So you have to bring like this gentle, kind awareness, like a mom who's trying to calm a baby down, just a lot of loving kindness to yourself. That kind awareness is very important. And so this 8-week MBSR course has been basically duplicated multiple times over to help patients with different problems in their life. So there's MBSR for depression, there's MBSR for chronic pain, there is MBSR for different things. So basically what you described was different variations on the same theme of mindfulness that Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn founded many years ago.
Okay. So I've been reading more about the different forms of meditation, such as focused attention meditation, where you focus on an object, and whenever your thoughts drift off or something, you focus your mind back on that object. And then there's another meditation called open monitoring, which you don't focus on an object, but rather you are non-selective in your awareness of the present moment. And then there's loving kindness meditation, where you put a strong emphasis on compassion and positive emotions. But there's all other forms of meditation, like walking meditation, or just doing things where you're kind of lost in the moment. Which do you prefer, or do you recommend toward other people?
So it's not like, what do I prefer? But it's more like understanding that each different type of meditation that you describe actually lights up and increases the gray matter in different parts of the brain. So the brain is like a whole circuit. So if you practice all three of these, it's better for you. It's almost like if you're going to a buffet and you only eat rice, that's good. But you want rice, you want vegetables, you might want a dessert. So this is kind of, a meditator has different tools to stay in the present moment. You may not always use the same tool at every moment in your life. So this is like a platter of tools, and you learn the different ones and you use the one that's appropriate for the right moment. When you're walking, you might do walking meditation. When you are trying to overcome a negative emotion, you might do loving kindness meditation to yourself and just being grateful for what you do have. That really helps to combat negative emotions. But in the sense of the sitting meditation practice, so that's in your daily life, because sometimes you have to be focused on a test. So you need to practice knowing how to focus in a calm and a gentle way. Sometimes you are just, walking to your car. So instead of like being lost in thought, you're focused on your breath, or you have the open attention awareness where you're just, relaxed and your mind is expanded throughout the universe. But when you meditate, these different types of meditation lead you into deeper depths of stillness. So I'm going to draw another analogy. So it's like your mind is like a river of thoughts, and you're on one side of the river right now of like maybe anxiety or, stress. You had a busy day, and the other side of the river is like calm and peacefulness. So to get to the other side of the river, you need to get on a boat. This is the focus awareness. And some people like a yacht, some people like a tugboat, some people like a sailboat. It like totally doesn't matter, because we all have a different personality. So the focused awareness is basically picking a boat to get you to the other side. And you have to learn actually different techniques. Like the breath is just one type of meditation. Visualization, or feeling the bright sun, or feeling the cool, calm moon, or using a mantra like transcendental meditation does, that is the object of your focus. So once you get to the other side and you've reached the calm, peaceful state, you don't need to take the boat and continue to walk. It's going to be heavy. Your mind is now more refined, and you can throw away the boat and you can just observe with that open, focused awareness of non-judgingly and non-reactively being in the present moment. Because all forms of meditation actually coincide with stillness of the mind, which is non-judgingly and non-reactively being in the present moment. So if you're trying to, or if you're doing sitting meditation, then you will just pick an object and you follow your relaxed feeling. Whatever you feel most relaxed, you don't need that object in meditation anymore. Your mind is more refined. You throw it away and you just kind of observe what happens. If your mind gets more turbulent, then you might need to come back to the object. You can't just observe the clouds passing through the sky. And then loving kindness is very important, because we have to live with ourselves, we have to live with other people in this world, and it's important to bring a lot of kindness and compassion to that. So I think all forms are necessary and important, if that helps.
Yeah, it sounds really like everyone has different personalities, and they could try different forms of meditation and see what's best for them.
Right, but when you're sitting, and I'm sorry, but when you're sitting, the method is simply a tool. So don't attach to the method. At the end, you let go of the method and you observe whatever happens. That open awareness, that stillness, that's where the sitting meditation is going to coalesce as you go deeper. So as long as you understand that all methods lead to the same spot, you're fine.
Right. Yeah, I do find that, whenever you're meditating, you're just stopping thought, and when you stop thought, you stop resistance, and then you can let everything flow into your experience. So because your mind doesn't know everything that's going to happen in the future. It only can do what it knows. So you kind of have to let go and just let whatever happens. So this is really seems like a really good technique to do and incorporate in your life, because it'll let you let go and experience life. Yep. So a stress-free life.
Right. I love what you said. That's really important, to just let go. We're not good fortune tellers. And we can't control the outside world, but the only thing we can adjust is our inside world. Let go. Yeah.
Cool. So when I first started meditation, I didn't really know anything about meditation. I had to, a professional told me to start looking into meditation, because she found that my mind was going 100 miles per hour. And so I needed to like slow down, and but I didn't really know anything about meditation. So I started looking things up, and I just seen a bunch of how to do it with like Indian style meditation, where you're just breathing in and out. But at first it was really challenging, because like I said, my mind's always racing, and you know, it doesn't seem to be working. But eventually I got to that point where I could let things go, and my mind is very still, and I was very neutral, and I had a very great greater peace of mind and stuff. So with beginners, how would you go about with beginners, just perseverance when you have like the monkey mind and stuff like that?
Yeah, you just said it perfectly. I mean, that's what everyone experiences when they first meditate. You see those pictures of people with this perfect meditation posture looking so zen, but they started off just like you, and so did I. I'm like type A personality, don't know how to relax, and tried so hard in medical school to where I really was like tense all the time. So I wasn't relaxed at all. So it took me a lot of time to learn to just like let it be and learn to let go. But I'm so glad that I did, even though I'm still working on it now, because if I hadn't persevered and kept doing it, one step in front of the other, then I would have never progressed, and I would be stuck in that, I guess, that cage or that trap of not knowing how to relax and let go, and my life would be much less happy. But yeah, I would just tell beginners, like, you can't start to play tennis tomorrow and expect to be Roger Federer overnight. It's not going to happen, guys. So let go of your expectations. I think we have an idea of what the world should be, and our minds can create really beautiful scenarios, and that's not reality. You want to ride a bike, get up and try it out. We're all going to fall when we first get up. Just get back up and just keep riding, keep trying, and you'll get better and better with practice. Just like you, just like I, just like every single person who began meditation.
Cool. That's really great advice. So this is it was nice having you, Nena. You're like a really great guest, and you're very knowledgeable about this subject, and it was really great to have you on. So I guess good night to everyone, and good night to Nena. So
thank you so much, Jay. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I want to say a very big thank you to Jay and the Meditation and Mindfulness Club, because you guys really are like peace leaders, and you really sacrifice your time to help other people find inner peace, even as you work on it yourself. Because I really feel like you guys understand that you can't give what you don't have. So you really work for your own inner peace, and then you just share that with everyone freely. So yeah, USA is a lot better with you guys. So thank you for all your hard work, and thank you
Oh,
for
yeah, yeah. It's a great pleasure. So to help others and, spread the word about great techniques to calm your mind and have greater peace in life. So,
amen. Thanks again, Jay. It's always good to see you. Have a good night.